Some days I wonder if I'm ever going to be able to hold a job. Or if it's just this constant battle where I'm never going to be able to, you know. I really need to repaint the lines on this street. I can barely see them. But that's Utah for you. This will be short because I've only got a little bit of battery left, but basically it was a not so great work night. Just something little set me off. I've been coming up for a while, and so I've been feeling it building up for a few days, and so I knew it was going to be a bad one. I for some reason I had an alarm that was on, and my alarms are very loud because I sleep through things, and so it went off in the break room while I was on the floor, and it was going on, and even the idea that I didn't convenience everyone and annoyed everyone and put people through that, I couldn't take it, and I broke down, and I hate people that cannot turn their brights off. What the frick? For real, guys, it's not that hard. But yeah, no, I wasn't able to calm myself back down. I had to take a clozapam. I'm gonna be honest, I should not have even drove home like that. It was so bad earlier tonight. I'm driving to go pick up Alton now, because we're working at the same place. And it's not like they weren't understanding, but, you know, the school was understanding at first. And then toward the end of the year, they just said, we don't need you next year. And that's what they chose to say instead. Which is their way of doing illegal things legally. Which I hate. And Genpack, I mean, obviously they can't really pull that crap as much. But I've lost any faith in anyone ever being able to I can't trust people because of this. I feel like people are never going to understand, and people don't understand, and it's just a thing that's and that's how I feel, and it's just scary. It's about 7 in the morning, because that's when we get off usually. I feel bad even being here. But I don't even know what to. I'm just so afraid the same thing's gonna happen. Again, people, brights. No. Please stop. It's not necessary. I swear. See, like, that person's fine. There's gonna be a butt ton of people coming through here because, you know, it's time to start picking people up pretty soon here. I just feel absolutely awful. I hate letting people down. And I know that, you know, they weren't able to get as much done that night because I couldn't work. I tried calming down for my entire break, and nothing happened, and I had to take a clozapam, and then I waited another, 20 minutes in the break room because I'm like, I'm never going to be able to drive home. And sure enough, I get to my car, I think I can drive home, and then I should not have driven home because, it was bad. I could not keep my lane, and I noticed that I couldn't keep my lane, and, and more or less it's because the clozapam had kicked in. I'm not even sure. I don't even remember if I'm supposed to drive on that stuff. It makes you so drowsy that, like, I was falling asleep on the 10-minute drive back over, and it was ridiculous. But, I napped most of the clonazepam off now, so I can drive fine now. It's just that first initial bit. Which is another reason why I'm like, I can take this and I can calm down, but can I even stay awake and pack with this? I don't think so, because I was already hypoglycemic at the moment, and I was trying to catch my calories back up, or my blood sugar back up, but I couldn't do it. Stick this pupper in park for a few minutes. When it gets to 7, I'll pull around. Oh, I've got allergies like crazy. My radio changes colors, so that's what the cool flashing colors are there. I'm just so worried that things are going to go awful again. Even though Genpact's definitely the best company I've ever worked for, and I do feel like they actually care, but they're in a position where they lose money by having me leave like that. And I mean, even if they had to talk to me about it and they did it professionally instead of sketchily like Chrysalis did and like the school district did, I mean, even if they did it, if they did it professionally, I wouldn't be the least bit mad. I understand. But companies tend to do sketchy things when they know that they can get in trouble with the law. Genpact is bigger than Chrysalis, though, and bigger than the Iron County School District, obviously. And because they're not a Utah-based company, even though this is a Utah plant, it's not a Utah-based company, I'm hoping that they won't be able to have a thing like this be a problem. And if they are, I guess I just need to I'll just talk to people and see where it goes. It's not going to be a problem this time. It's not. No one's ever said it's going to be a problem this time. But I know farewell, this is not going to be the last time this ever happens. It's not going to be the last time it happens at this job. It's not going to be the last time it happens like this, where something sets me off, and it's not even the factory that set me off. They're like, well, what happened out there that you did? And I'm like, no, it's not even that. Like, you don't even know. It's just how things go. It's how it works. Or rather, how it doesn't work. Nothing ever works, and I hate it. My lip's been cracked down the middle for the last 4 or 5 days. It's starting to heal up finally. For a while it was just getting worse and worse and worse. But it didn't help that I was eating it because my anxiety's been building up for the last few days. Not for any particular reason. just because. Probably because I'm not getting good sleep or something. I don't know. It's probably something like that. Or I'm not eating correctly, because those things, you know, come into play on it. But I've been extremely paranoid too. This morning I thought that the neighbor was smoking weed again, which, to be fair, he has done. He has done that. And I was like freaking the flip out over it, even though usually I just turn the cooler off and ignore it. I was freaking the flip out, and then I wake up out and he's like, Kayla, there's nothing here. And I'm like, oh great, yay, yay. If we're on the hallucinatory phase, and this is 2 hours before work, I knew I was going to walk into a problem. I knew it was going to be bad walking in there. And I was on edge, and anything was going to set me off. And I mean, my therapist would say, you know, this is Kayla trying to be nice to herself here. At least I have the credit of I went in anyway. Because as much as I think that I'm not improving, earlier this year I wouldn't have even been able to get out the door like that. Being that paranoid. Or rather, if it was about the house, I would have been, paranoid enough to leave. I guess what I mean is I was able to get to work and try my best. And for the most part, I was in a pretty good mood, too. And then it just sets me off. I mean, I wasn't even crying until, the emotional part where I feel awful because I have to leave, and I feel like I'm leaving them in the dirt. And that's when I started crying. So it wasn't even an emotional panic attack. It was just, it was emotional, but not the usual, it's not the one where it wasn't one where I cry, because sometimes I cry and sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's this raw energy. And I'd gone for a really long time. Gone for a good long time without hurting myself like that. And I'm honestly really disappointed. I feel like I have everything in line, and I finally got a wrangle on things, and then I freak out and, do crazy things. Which, to be at work, I'm like so paranoid about even making noises that'll disturb people at that point. I'm paranoid I'll disturb people so much that I'm just hiding under my arms and I'm biting my knuckles until they bruise. Which I guess is one good thing that I'm anti-gore, is I usually don't hurt myself enough to bleed because it freaks me out. Unless it's my dermatillo, then but I don't notice that. That's kind of something that's already there. It's not like breaking the skin sort of deal. I don't know why I don't like the idea of that, but no, I've been itching like crazy the last week, and I know it's been coming up, and it's just this, I'm not sure if I'll ever be able to. I want to work for myself. I want to do something, and I want to, I want to have health care and not have to worry about that bullcrap. Because at the school district, basically, a third of my income when I was working at the school district had to go to health care because I was part-time, and so I had no benefits over there at all. Which I know, I understand the reasons why. I'm just saying, like it's a hard situation to be in, and, here they have free health care, and then it's like only a $2,600 deductible. And I just... Yeah, well, I don't see them yet. I don't know how close up I should get. Wait till I see people walking, I suppose. probably not good to leave the car on like this, but some days I just don't care. I don't know. I like working here too. I mean, yeah, it's a pain in the butt sometimes because, you know, it's a painful job, but I like working here. I really do. Genpac's a pretty cool place to work, and they've got good people, and I can see why my dad and my friend recommended me to work here. And it is, to be fair, it is easier on my brain, but I'm still getting set off by just the smallest things. Well.